let's chat about how I became a fabric designer. In this video I want to share the story about Sugaridoo, how it started, how it's going, what happened in the past years, and how that all led up to becoming a fabric designer with Benartex. Hi there, my name is Irene and this is the Sugaridoo channel. Welcome to this new video about how I became a fabric designer. For me, this is a very exciting story, especially when I wrote down all the years and events that happened over the past years and saw how everything evolved from starting Sugaridoo and building everything up to now being a fabric designer with Benartex. So thank you for tuning in and let's get started with this story. I am going to put a little timeline in here so that you get an idea of what happened when. And I took some notes so that everything goes into kind of an orderly fashion in this video, because otherwise it will be all over the place. Yeah, so well, becoming a fabric designer, how did that start and how did that become a reality? To talk about how I became a fabric designer, I need to start at the beginning. So a long time before 2015, that's the first time I noticed in my WhatsApp that I chatted about Sugaridoo. But probably before that, I started designing crochet patterns. I crocheted toys, especially Mike the Monkey. This one was a big hit. That was what I started Sugaridoo with. I designed crochet patterns, sold them on Etsy, and did that next to my job as a mechanical engineer. And then I fell in love with fabrics, with sewing machine, with quilting, so I also started to design quilt patterns. That is what it started with. So I had a little Etsy shop with quilt patterns for foundation paper piecing and amigurumi, crocheted toys. And then I did that in the evenings and in the weekends, and then in, when was it? 2016, I quit my day job. So I asked if I could work less hours, but that wasn't possible at the company that I was working then. So I decided to just quit my job for a year and see what I could do, how far I could take things with Sugaridoo. That was after I joined a big craft fair for the first time, and I got a lot of feedback from people on my patterns, and I saw how happy they were to be making my my designs and my stuff. So that really yeah, lightened up the spark that was already there. I really could feel how happy it made me, how happy it made other crafters. So yeah, that started my enthusiasm that was something that I wanted to try. So I quit my job and started from a spare bedroom that we had. And then I got pregnant with our first one, little Jules, and yeah, he was born end of 2017. So in that meantime, I had to give up that second bedroom and went looking for a space that I could rent. Found something really nice and big that I could rent as a studio. So that was the very first Sugaridoo studio that I had. And that came with a lot of possibilities. I had crafty afternoons, high teas that we did, crochet high teas. I could store more fabric, so I bought the very first fabric line from wholesale and did a quilt along with Bernina. So all those projects started to take shape, and renting that space really made a lot of that possible. So that was 2016, quitting my job, then Jules was born, and then that was 2017. And then I searched in my WhatsApp history, and then in 2018 I first noticed that I mentioned to my husband in a WhatsApp conversation that, well, the business was starting to grow and gaining traction, and was selling more and more patterns. And then I first mentioned, maybe next year I can go to America and become a fabric designer, haha. So 2018, that was the first time that I really voiced that dream of designing fabrics. That would complete the whole picture of being a quilt pattern designer. So that was 2018. And then in 2020, that idea became more, not really realistic, but it took more shape. So I had a conversation with a wholesale who had the possibility to print fabrics, and we chatted about options, and well, I thought maybe I could become a fabric designer there. So we had conversations about that, but at the end I didn't really like the quality of the fabrics and the way everything worked, so didn't go through with the conversations there, so that stopped. And then we moved, yeah, I guess we moved after that and built this new studio, and in the meantime I was pregnant again, and Ella was born, and that was 2021. So 3 years already passed since I first voiced that dream of becoming a fabric designer. And then Ella was born, and I wasn't in the best place, mentally, emotionally. I just had a hard period then to go through. But in the meantime, while I was kind of recovering and giving that space, taking space that I needed, new conversations started. And that came up because QB Fabrics, that is a Dutch wholesaler for quilt fabrics, also for quilt fabrics from Benartex. We always have been in contact on craft fairs, and so we always have been in contact. And then they they let me know that Benartex was looking for fabric designers, and would that be something that you would like to do? And I already had some sketches for Robo Boogie, my very first fabric line. I had those already. So I sent in those first sketches, and they introduced me at Benartex, and they showed me my first sketches, and everybody was really enthusiastic about it. So that was really cool that happened kind of all of a sudden, but of course it's not all of a sudden. Because I got to know QB Fabrics from craft fairs when they saw my style, and they really liked that, and they saw my designs, and well, Sugaridoo is something that I have been building and building over these years. So making YouTube videos, making patterns, making pretty pictures for Instagram, sending out newsletters, that is something that grows and grows and grows. So when an opportunity like this arrives, then it feels like, whoa, all of a sudden I can become a fabric designer. But that was built, in my case, on everything that I already did. And it was awesome that QB Fabrics could introduce me to Benartex, to the right people, and show my work there. That was a great opportunity, great introduction for me to there, and they really liked what I had sketched out. So that was July 2021, and then conversations with Benartex started. But since I wasn't feeling the best and I didn't have so much energy to work on everything, we could really take it slow. And I'm super thankful for Benartex for giving me that time and not holding off the boat like, well, we want to turn your work into a collection right now, and if that's not happening, then well, see you later or something. That was completely not the case. So even though we weren't officially working together yet, we were chatting back and forth about the fabric line, and yeah, so it really felt like I had all the time to finalize my fabric line, first fabric line, and also that they would be there. That is also exactly what they said. They would be there when I would be ready for it. Then we would go ahead and print the first fabric line. So that gave a really great feeling of, okay, this is going to happen, but it can happen at my pace. So that was awesome. I'm really thankful for that. And that is also the way it went. So in 2022, in March, I wanted to do the immersion course by Bonnie Christine. That's a fabric design course, and I wanted to do that for years. And now I was going to be a fabric designer, so I thought, yes, okay, now we're going to do it. So in 2022, in March last year, I did the immersion course, and there I learned a lot about how to use Illustrator better and how to, well, what things to focus on within your fabric collections, and well, learned a lot, and that was awesome for especially the technical part of making a fabric collection. So when that was done in October, I went to Houston last year, and then my collection was pretty much done. And there we decided to go ahead and release the first fabric collection this year at Houston. So they kind of left it open to me when I wanted to launch the first fabric collection. I thought, well, let's just also take that slow. I had my book coming up, and I first wanted to launch that, and now it is well, right now it's October 2023, and my very first fabric collection is arriving. Well, it's being announced tomorrow in the Virtual Fabric Show by Benartex, and in 2 weeks at Houston Quilt Market. So how awesome is that? What a journey. Yeah, I'm super excited about this. That when you look back at that whole list of dates, all those years of doing what I really like, I really love, doing the things that make me happy, is just leading up to this. It's so cool. Yes, so I'm really happy, and I thought this was a, well, for me, a fun, interesting story to share how that whole process went. Yeah, so maybe I can also do a Q&A about this. If you're interested, just leave your questions in the comments down below, and maybe I can do a follow-up video or something like that where I answer the questions you have about this whole process. Yeah, and right now for the future, so now we're announcing my very first fabric line, but already the second one is well, somewhere in the process of I finished it, and well, it will be announced somewhere next year, I guess, and I'm already sketching out things for a third one. So yes, a lot of exciting stuff is going to happen, and I'm really happy that I teamed up with Benartex for this. Everything is going so smooth, and yeah, so really nice. And also one thing that I wanted to mention is last year, when I visited in Houston, everything became so much more real, because before that, all the contact and everything was through Zoom, of course. I'm here in the Netherlands, and well, Benartex is in the United States. So, but when I arrived at Houston and met everybody, it felt like I'm part of the team, and that's really cool, because without that, taking that trip to Houston and meeting all the people from Benartex, it would just be me drawing here some things and sending it, and they will print it, and less like a personal being a part of the team, but meeting all the other designers there. And I think that really helped in the past year to yeah, to feel more connected to that, and I'm really looking forward to meeting everybody again in Houston in 2 weeks. Yes, so that's the story. Let's see if I wrote down more things here in my notes. Yeah, no, I think I shared everything. Yeah, so yeah, this is the whole timeline of when everything happened. And it took some years to become a fabric designer, but I'm really happy that I could take it slow, especially in the period after Ella was born. Yeah, that I knew I was going to be a fabric designer, but I still could do it in my own time, at my own pace. Yes, so I would love to hear if you have questions about anything fabric design wise, or building my business. Just leave it down below and I'll make sure to make a follow-up video about this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I would love to see you again next week in a new video. Bye!